Hey, I just wanted to follow up. This week I lost a dear friend, Rick, and it sort of set me thinking. And this morning I woke up to one of my other dear friends in Boston. One of the men gave me a call and was just, we were chatting about it. And it's different when you know Jesus. And I was just thinking about that. The Bible says, "Oh, death, where is your sting? The sting of death is broken." And it says the power of death is sin. And you start to realize when we live for ourselves, it's a traumatic time. Death is traumatic. But when you know somebody's made their peace, you know somebody's where they need to be, then, yeah, we miss them naturally. But spiritually, the unity's still there. And it's something that you can't experience or understand until you're living that, I guess. But so I was talking to Tasso, my friend there in the States, and I was just saying, Tasso, it's like life is the transit lounge at the airport. Because the Bible says a day is as a 1,000 years in God's sight. So really, our life is lucky to be 10 minutes in the grand scale of things. And I said, we put so much focus on that 10 minutes of life. We put so much focus on the transit lounge at the airport. But our flight's boarding. And you never know when your flight's boarding. And so we have people running around in the transit lounge trying to be important, doing their hair and trying to look wonderful so that everyone will think they're superb. We have others that are running around buying things, trying to get the duty free. And it's almost like God's saying, I don't take duty free. You can't bring it with you. Others are trying to make sure all their friends and family on the same flight. But it's like, no, this flight, only you can travel. 10 minutes. You're in the airport lounge for 10 minutes, if you're lucky. And the thought of Rick brought that home in a very sobering way. What are you doing with your 10 minutes? I, as many of you know, went through divorce probably nearly 4 years ago, and everything was taken. This week I had one of my sons contact me, and we were chatting about love and unconditional love. And I he didn't know, but I cried on his text message of just joy, tears of joy in seeing my son understand life at an early age. And where he was saying, he's pointing out how part of this, the expectation of some of the family is if you do what we say, we'll love you. And he said, and then he realizing that unconditional love is saying, even when you don't do what I say, I love you. And I think that's God's love, where God's come to us and he's gone, you don't get it, do you? You're supposed to fail. That's what sin is. For the Bible says all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Every one of us. And it's God trying to show us unconditional love. He's trying to get through to our thick skull and say there is nothing you can do that's good enough for me to love you. Because I just love you how you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. And it doesn't matter what you've done. He loves you. And I think that's not a decision. That's something that just is a movement inside of you. I have some people, different folks in my life. I mean, they come and they go, but some of these folks, it's like they don't understand where I'm coming from. Unconditional love is everything that I have for you is for you. Does that mean you're mine and I'm yours? No. That means you're amazing. That means I love you. And that means pure love means I love the very essence of who you are. I love your spirit. Now, if that goes to somewhere else, then that was supposed to be. But to have that realization that you're loved. And I think a lot of people can travel a lifetime journey and never find that. They think love is getting what they want. They think love is doing, somebody doing for you, make you feel good. Oh, you said this to me and it wasn't any good. Yeah, no one better than me for upsetting. No one better than me for not doing what should be done. And no one better for me than giving unconditional love. Because God loved me unconditionally. When I failed, when my life failed, when my wife left, when my children were weaponized against me, when things just went in crazy directions, I still love them. I still love them. Does that mean I'm going to be with them? It's not my call. But I still love them. And God still loves you. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you've done, no matter what you're going to do. Now, I think for me that became a surrender. And I believe for all of us, the invitation is to surrender. To say, God, take my life. I've only ever known love. And love's really scary, right? I've only ever known love by what I do or someone does for me. Once you find the unconditional love, surrender to it. You can feel it. Surrender to it. Take the journey. And it's scary. I mean, I've known people, I've known a few. I've got one recently, it's happened. But they get unconditional love touches them and they run. They try to put their filter of what everyone else has done to them and their abuse, their self-abuse. They don't think they're lovable. And they're scared because they're looking and they see all their faults. And, well, if he knew about that and if they thought this, he wouldn't love me. No, you don't get the point. You're a work of art. You're a work of art. You're loved just how you are. Well, what if you're loved? That's the beauty of God's love. When I hit that, he just loved me no matter what. I didn't feel good enough. My family had left. Felt like I didn't have a friend in the world at times. I did, but sometimes it felt like that. And God just loved me. He held me. And once you've had that love, all you can do is give it to others. And there's some pretty varied reactions with that, for sure. Death is the greatest invitation to life. When somebody dies near you, it's the greatest invitation for you to look at your life. It's God saying to you, won't you come? Won't you come? Come and surrender to my love. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it's insecure. Oh, what if I get let down? What if? You won't. But imagine spending a lifetime never having experienced unconditional love, never having been able to give unconditional love to others. And your invitation today is to say, God, come into my heart. For me, that was a prayer of saying, Jesus, I want to marry you spiritually. I surrender my life to you. I surrender all the good I've done. I surrender all the bad I've done. I surrender everything I am. Take me. Be one with me. I feel that love of yours. I don't understand it. It scares me. I feel inferior. I feel like I'm not good enough for it. But I surrender to you. If you can take this broken man, take him. And each day gets better. So Rick's life, let it be something that touches all of us to say, hey, maybe it's time I look at my life and surrender. Because with everything coming too, people are like, oh, how do I keep my money? How do I forget your money? Surrender to God. And when you do, it's a brilliant life. It's different. You're not going to have it the way most people think life should look. But I tell you what, it's better than focusing on a transit lounge, thinking that your car, your house, your money is who you are. You know it's not. You know that that's not the answer to life. Surrender to that unconditional love. Surrender your life to Jesus today. Hey, give me a call if you need to. God bless.